Hi guys, how are you? And welcome back to the channel. First of all, I want to start the video by saying that I'm really sorry for not posting for the last month or so, but my daily job usually gets really busy and crazy busy around Christmas time, so it doesn't leave me much time to do what I like to review watches. But we are back, and in today's video, we're going to have a look at my first titanium watch. This one was sent in to me by Heimdallr. I'm sure you're familiar with Heimdallr, especially on this channel. I get to keep it. I don't have to send it back, so bear that in mind as the video goes along. This one is called the Sea Ghost, and it's pretty clear what this one homages. I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to review a lot of watches from Heimdallr. More recently, there has been a lot of emphasis on progress. Either it's new designs or case finishing or new materials. They have been moving forward. But is this one any good? Let's take a look. The Sea Ghost is probably the cheapest titanium diver watch on the market with a price of only $229. I'll put a link into the description box below to the Heimdallr website for you guys to check them out. It's available in 3 dial colors. The one that I have here today is the white dial, which I have to admit I was a bit skeptical about when I found that this was the one I was getting for a review. But as soon as I saw it, I knew that this was it. It actually looks pretty good. I just think it stands out a bit more compared to the other ones. But how does the entire watch stack up? The offering for the price is pretty good one here. You're getting 200 meters of water resistance, you're getting a titanium case with the trusty Seiko NH35, and in my opinion, I think that's enough to keep pretty much everyone interested. Let's get the dimensions out of the way. So you have a 42 millimeter case, you have a thickness of 13.5 with that domed sapphire crystal. You have a lug-to-lug of 48.7, and the lugs are actually pointing downwards, so it wears a bit smaller than the case would suggest. And you have a lug width of 20 millimeters. Just to show how light this thing is, without any straps, this thing weighs a crazy 54 grams, which is absolutely insane. That is one of the benefits of titanium. Apart from the fact that it's actually very strong, it's also very light as well. The case is made out of grade 3 titanium, so that is according to the website. To be honest, I don't know much about the quality of titanium in its different grades or in its different stages, but according to the internet, grade 3 titanium means that it's unalloyed, which means that in this case, pretty much 100% of the watch case is made out of titanium, which is actually really good considering the price. The finishing is pretty consistent throughout, so you have a mixture of vertical and horizontal brushing done to a finer grade. One of the downsides of titanium is that it will scratch out easier, but also it's easier to buff these scratches out. So not sure how many of us will actually venture out to buff out the scratches off our titanium case, but you know, it's nice to know that you have the option and it's easier to do than stainless steel. At the 3 o'clock position, we have the screw down crown. So this is actually unsigned. It's very grippy, and it's actually very easy to unscrew, and it screws back in very easy. At the 10 o'clock position, we have the helium escape valve, which to be honest, I don't really see the point of, but, and this is a big but, it does keep in true with the watch that this watch is homaging. So in that sense, it actually makes, in that case, it makes actually perfect sense. Back of the watch, we have the shark logo engraved on the titanium screw down case back with the spec sheet around it. No quotes this time, like in previous models, just simple and straight to the point. So automatic movement, sapphire crystal, 200 meters, 660 feet, and 100% titanium like we said. The movement powering this watch is, like I mentioned, is the Seiko NH35, which is pretty common, especially at this price point. Around 41 hours of power reserve, 21,600 vibrations per hour, and it will run forever before it needs a service. Now let's move on to something that I think in this case is a bit more controversial, and I want to spend a bit more time on this because I think this might be a bit of a deal breaker for some. It's the actual bezel. Now we have a scallop bezel here with an aluminium insert. Now the clicks on this one are the funny part because according to my count it has 240 clicks. Now and the reason to that, as you can hear, is because titanium doesn't have the same weight as stainless steel, so it will sound a bit more light, a bit more not as clicky. But again, there's nothing wrong with that. Now I haven't had that many titanium watches with titanium bezels, so I can compare it with, but again, I was assured that this is a common feature amongst titanium watches and titanium bezels, that this is actually nothing wrong and this is how it will sound. And let's move on to the dial. Actually, I'm going to zoom onto that a little bit more. The dial is covered by a domed sapphire crystal with purple AR coating, which I have to say plays with the light really, really well, and it kind of suits the dial color. On the website, it's supposed to be a white, but I would call it more a champagne or a cream off-white. Either way, I really much prefer this to the actual plain white dial. We have applied indices all around, all loomed, batons at the 3 and 9, and double batons at the 12, and circular indices everywhere else. At the 6 o'clock position, we have a date window with a black date frame, which fits pretty well in the overall design. Also at the 6, just above the date, we have a printed in red Sea Ghost and in black automatic 200 meters. At the 12 o'clock position, we have the shark logo, which is printed. I would have preferred it applied. I just think it adds a bit more quality and a bit more depth to the dial. Overall, the dial is executed well. Everything aligns nicely, decent amount of lume, as we're all used to from Heimdallr's. And one of the things that Heimdallr does really, really nice is the lume application. So everything is applied nicely and evenly on the hands and indices, and everything works. Now, I want to talk about the strap because mine came on this French Marine NATO strap, which is nothing to brag about, but I won't criticize it too much because I received mine a while back and it's actually a prototype, but the quality is so good you can't even tell. The production models now have a choice of a NATO and a steel mesh strap for an extra $20. So I personally haven't had the mesh strap in hand to test that out to give you guys my personal opinion, but I think $20 is not a lot of money for a steel mesh, and I have to say it does suit the overall look of the watch. And I feel that that was pretty much all about the watch. And to draw the line on all of this, Heimdallr provided us with a lot of watch for your money, as they usually do, especially when you think about the fact that this is actually a titanium watch. There are a few things that I would love to see done differently, one of which is the applied logo, just to keep in tune with the previous models. Again, it's not a deal breaker, but still I would have loved to see that. And also, I know Heimdallr doesn't usually sign their crowns, but I would love to see a signed crown here just to, you know, offer a bit more identity to the watch now. Last thing, it's not particularly a complaint because it depends on a lot on the material that you're working with, is that bezel action that might put some people off. Again, not a deal breaker, you know, it's this on the website. When you go in, Heimdallr does actually tell you that the bezel action is not the same. So it is a bit of a warning, or more to let you know what to expect. Again, it's not a complaint. I'm just letting people know, like they do on the website, to know what to expect. I have to say that every single time they bring something new and interesting with every single model, and when you consider the spec sheet, this thing is an absolute bargain, and I would definitely recommend it as your first titanium watch. It's light, it's well made, and like I said, in the last two models that they released, Heimdallr did actually maintain a very, very good standard considering the price in terms of finishing and alignments and and quality, overall quality of the watch. Now guys, I have to say that wraps up today's video. I left a link into the description box below to their website for you guys to check them out. Let me know in the comment section below what your opinions are about the watch and, you know, the new releases. Thank you very, very much for watching, guys. Please click a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't so, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.